Okay, we're going to start standing. We're going to pop the ball between our knees in this standing position. And I just want us to focus, to begin with, on our ankles and our feet, okay? So we're going to just hold the ball in between the knees, draw up nice and long through the spine, and just feel that connection of your legs against the ball. So you're not actively squeezing. I just want you to draw length up through the legs and just feel the legs just automatically connect into the ball. If you're keeping the weight in the center of the foot, yeah? If you feel like you're rocking to the outer borders of the foot, then you might need to take your feet out slightly. So weight in the center of the foot, that deep connection into the ball. Switch on those glutes, so just squeeze into your bottom a little bit. And then from here, in our neutral spine, we're just going to take a softening to the knees and a hinging forwards from the waist. Okay, or from the hips, I should say, not the waist. Okay, so you've hinged into the hips and you've got a softening into the knees. Take your hands onto your hips, keep your shoulders relaxed, and we're just going to keep squeezing the ball between the knees and lift the heels up, and then press the heels down and rock backwards slightly into the heels so your toes can lift. So we lift the heels up, stay on the balls of the feet, and then rock back into the heels and allow your toes to lift. If you need to just be closer to a wall so you can touch a wall for a little bit of balance, that's fine. Draw your abdominals in continuously and feel the weight shifting forwards and back through the feet. But that is literally the only change in the body. So as we move forwards and we lift the heels, you can see the ankles are moving and the joints of the feet are moving, but we are not moving any deeper into the hips, and we are certainly not changing the position of that spine. Lovely. Abdominals drawing in continuously. Shoulders relaxed. Good. Drawing the head from the shoulders. Let's do 3 more. Working through the whole of the foot. Lifting up those heels. Keeping a good squeeze on the ball. And on the next one, I want you to take the weight back into the heels and keep the weight back into the heels. Reach the arms above your head, peel up your toes a little, and try and sink a little bit deeper into your squat. Then we're going to stand all the way up and open the hips forward, squeezing the arms back. We're going to go again. Weight in the heels as your tail draws back and your arms reach forwards. Ball stays squeezing between the knees as we lift up and open the hips forwards and draw the arms back. Let's keep it going. Reach. So the lengthening of the arms over the head and mirroring the lengthening of the spine. So drawing tail to crown. We go for that big reach. That also challenges our shoulder stability. Lovely. Yes, nice. But think about where you're placing the weight in the feet as you go back into that squat. It's all right, Caroline, I didn't see that. The plop of shame. Good work. Let's go 3 more. Weight in those heels, toes almost peeling up. As you stand, you can put the weight back into the center of the foot, feeling all 10 toes down into the mat. But as we squat, we feel a lightness through the toes. One last one. Good work. On the next one, we're going to come down into that squat. Lower the arms, nod your chin to your chest and round the spine. Fingertips grazing the floor. You're going to walk the hands forwards, all the way forwards, placing the knees down. But you can see I've put my knees back of my hips. Yeah, they're not directly under my hips here. And I'm going to bring my hands slightly forwards of my shoulders. Okay, lovely. So that ball is squeezing between the knees. Toes tucked under, take a breath in. As you breathe out, squeeze the ball a little more, pick the knees up, and then you're going to rock forwards, right to the tips of your toes, rock back, pushing the heels back, and then tapping the knees back down. Okay? So again, we're working through those ankles. We lift the knees, squeezing the ball. We're rocking forwards, back, knees tap down. And again, lift, rock forwards, rock back, knees down. Core pulled up nice and tight as those knees lift and you work through that rocking movement. Try not to allow the bottom to lift and lower as you rock forwards and back. So you hit the plank, you maintain the plank, and then you've got that little hinge movement working through the toes, through the ankles, through the wrists. There's a bit of movement in the shoulders, but there's nothing in your spine. Good. Forwards, back. As you're pushing back, feel the calf and the Achilles lengthening. Tap down. Let's go 2 more. Lift. Forwards, back, and tap. Really connecting into your center as you lift, come forwards, back, and tap down. Lean your body weight backwards away from the arms. Not all the way back into prayer, just finding that length through the spine, that release through the shoulders and wrists. Good work. And then bring yourself back. And bring your hands now a little bit more underneath your chest. Yeah, the toes are still tucked under. We're still squeezing the ball. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, tighten your center. Lift the knees all the way up, send the tail up to the sky and drop your head down, looking at your toes. Now you're going to press your heels down to the mat. And at the same time, think of pressing your chest towards your ball. So you're in a down stretch position. Lift the heels up. Send the body weight forwards and slowly bring yourself back down, knees to mat. We go again. Yay, you've got Karina. Squeeze your ball, lift your knees, lift your hips, up, up, up. Now transfer the weight back towards your heels. Try and push the heels into the mat, the chest towards the ball. Then we lift up. Bend the knees. Now, again, I'm not mobilizing my spine. As I lift my knees up, I'm trying to keep the spine quiet and just work the movements through the joints of the ankles, the toes, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the wrists. Yeah, good. Keep it going. Lift and press back. Yeah, really nice. Finding that length in the calf and the Achilles. 2 more. Lovely. That ball is held there to keep those inner thighs switched on. Pick it up into the pelvic floor. We're going to hold the next one up there. So in the down stretch, I just want you to work those ankles. Lift the heels up, press them down, and we lift and lower. Keep the head hanging. Eye focus to your toes. Good, up and down. 3 more, shoulders plugged into the back, really strong through the wrists. 1 last one, up and down. And we're going to lift the heels, bend the knees, slowly bring yourself all the way back down again. And lean back again, away from your arms, taking the weight out of the arms and shoulders. Good work. All right, ladies. Lift yourself up. We're going to move the ball. We're going to squeeze it behind the back of your left knee, okay? And then you're going to take your right elbow to the mat. Your left hand stays on the mat. And you're just going to lift that left leg up, okay? Squeezing the heel to the bottom and just rotating that hip. Yeah, so you're opening that hip slightly. Lovely. This is going to allow us to get a little bit more movement through the hip with that slight twist in the pelvis. We're going to come down, raising the knee towards the floor, pull it towards us, lift it up and out. Really lovely big circles. Now, predominantly the weight is going into that right shoulder. So let's think about the elbow sitting directly underneath that shoulder and the shoulder connecting into the back. And we have rotated our pelvis. We've also rotated through the ribs. So everything is at this slightly jaunty angle facing towards the left side. It's allowing us to really stir deep into the hip. If you need to turn your eyes on occasion to look at your mat to release any neck tension, then do so. Let's take those circles back in the other direction. Now this is where the plop of shame tends to happen, because hamstrings don't like to keep working and the ball falls away from the back of the leg. Let's keep squeezing that heel in towards the glutes. Good. Really getting nice and deep, deep lubrication in that hip joint. 3 more. Lovely. Breathing nice and evenly. Good work. Now you're going to stand up out of the right arm now. Take both hands underneath the shoulders. And this is going to basically square you out against your mat. So now we've got the shoulders square, the pelvis is square to the mat. That left leg is still lifted. We're going to pulse up, up. Good. Now you're really finding your hip extensors. Yeah, before it was all those deep hip rotators that were turning the leg around in circles. Now we're just opening the front of the hip, extending and working on the glute max. Still those hamstrings are going to feel it though, because you're squeezing the heel to the bottom each time. Abdominals pulling in nice and deep. Lovely. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Well done, everybody. Take that leg down. Come off your wrists, because we've got to go to the other side in a second. I just don't want you to overload the upper body, especially Caroline today. I did warn you, Caroline, there's a little bit of weight bearing today to the arms and wrists. Not a good day to have a dodgy wrist. Okay, ball into the back of the right leg now. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to just twist around so I can still see you. Okay, so we take the left elbow down, sit it underneath your left shoulder. The right arm stays long. We're going to lift the leg and twist towards the right side this time. Let's go into those circles. All the way around. Keep squeezing heel to bottom. Good. Plugging that shoulder into the back, your weight-bearing shoulder. Good. How big can you go without pulling that top hip back any further? Yeah. Everything is twisted. We haven't left anything behind. We're rotated fully through the spine, even your head, even your neck. Good. And let's go back in the other direction. Up and over. If you're feeling any pinching in the front of your right hip, just walk your upper body forward slightly. Good. Lovely big lubrication in the hip. 3 more. Really nice. And then we're going to stand up out of the left arm as well. Both hands underneath your shoulders, and up we go with those tiny little extension lifts. We can go with a flexed foot or with pointed toes. If you are going pointed toes, it's your big toe rising up to the ceiling. Just watch you're not cramping in those arches. If it's with the heel, you pull your toes right back and push the heel upwards. Good. Shoulders connected, abs always pulled in when we're working on stability while we're extending the leg, just to make sure we don't go into our lower back. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, really good work. Take the ball away for a moment and roll back into that prayer position. Okay. Lovely. Think about the shoulders, all right? Not weight bearing in the arms for this next one. You're going to put the ball just on the back of your legs here. And you can either go flat feet or flexed feet, because we're going to sit the bottom towards the ball, taking a little bit of the load of our body into the ball, but not too much. So if that feels more comfortable to have your feet flexed, or you can flatten them, that's fine. We're not kind of taking all the load, yeah? So you almost just press your buttocks into the ball, ladies. Then the arms will reach forwards. The abs are pulled in. The shoulders drawn down into the back. We're going to bend the elbows like our chicken wings, reach the arms down to our side, and then circle them all the way up above the head. Bend, dragging the elbows down towards the waist, then reach the arms long, and then circle back round. We bend. Now, as you reach those arms long, let's give them a little upwards lift to find our triceps, and then bring them back round over and above the head. Chicken wings, lengthening by our side, a slight upwards lift. Then take them back down to the hips as they circle back round. squeeze up and circle back round. Good, keep going. Lengthen more through your spine, Caroline. So just pick the back of your head up. That's it, yes. That's it, yeah. So you've hinged, when you do that hinge forwards, it's just from the hips. 2 more, ladies. Dragging the elbows down, feeling the rotation of the shoulder blades against your rib cage, then squeezing back behind you, circling back around, beautiful stability. Lovely, abs pulling in, last one. Squeeze, yes, round, bend, finish with the arms squeezed back behind you, hold them there, and let's go up, up, up. Good, keep it going. I know I've lost my ball. Tiny little upwards lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Lift your bottom off that ball. Let your hips open again. And we're going to throw the ball back down onto the mat. Good work. All right, let's get some movement through our spine. There's not been enough spinal movement. So we're going to go into our thread the needle for this one. Ball sits underneath the chest. Press your right hand deeper into the mat and open your left arm up to the ceiling. Keep the hips nice and square to the mat. And then back of the left hand to the ball as you exhale, let the feet under. Keep going, keep rotating. As long as you have out breath, you should still be twisting round. Big inhalation as you draw the ball back and work the arm up. And then a long releasing. Exhale as you find full rotation. Lovely. Keep it going. Breathe in. Open those chest muscles. Breathe out. Take a little bit of weight down onto that ball. Push it away. Keeping the tail long, ladies, as you go through that rotation. It's easy to tuck under with this one. Breathe in, we reach. Breathe out, press under, cheek towards mat. Lovely, one last one. And then we'll switch. Good work, bring both hands down onto the mat. Ball stays underneath the chest. Let's go to the other side. So connect the left heel of the left hand down first. Sit that shoulder into your back. And then we rise up with the right. Then the hand goes onto the ball and we're pushing under and twisting, rotating, keeping the tail long. And pull back in. Breathe in. Connect left shoulder into your back as you open the right arm up to the ceiling. Pushing under. Nice. Big exhale. Lovely. 2 more on this side. Really nice. It feels good to get the spine moving. One last one. Sorry, something's upset the dog. She's having a proper bark. Well done. Hands out. Tuck your tail under. Lean your body weight back again. Just take a break. Let me just see. Check not being burgled. What? What's all that about? Oh well. I think she's just being a bit vocal. Right, girls. Let's go on to our side. We're going to put the ball underneath the ribs lying on our side. So if you come down, put the ball underneath the rib cage, not underneath your armpit. Oh, Ben, shush. Underneath the leg is bent. I don't know what's got into her. She's gone crackers. All right, so the underneath leg is bent, the top leg lengthening in line with your hip, and just rest your head down on your shoulder. And you can see you're kind of almost leaning over the ball. So your ribs are tipping over the ball, but I want you to really lengthen that top leg to try and drag that top hip down. Now we're looking for a shortening in the waist with this one. So we're going to lift the head, lift the shoulder, and lift the leg at the same time. Now you can press your hand down into the mat to really find that waist squeeze. And I don't mind if that hip rises up. I know, controversial. Take yourself back down again. And now allow the hip to slide away. Good, so we're coming up, we're working over the ball and lift the leg. Keep going. Yes, be quiet. No one wants to hear you. Thanks. But good, lovely. So you should feel your obliques firing here, girls, because you're pulling your hip towards your rib cage. You're lifting your rib cage towards your hip. Yeah, and then you're going to pull it back out again to get that length back into the waist. Push your ribs into the ball as you're lifting away. Yeah, so you're trying to move the air in the ball. Good, nice. Lovely. Let's do 3 more. Lengthening first and then lifting. Good. One last one. Lovely. And bring it all the way down. Okay. You're going to take the hand onto your head and bring the other hand to the head at the same time. So you pull your head out and away from your shoulders, if you like, and raise that leg back up again. Now this time, there is no shortening in the waist. The waist stays long, the pelvis stays neutral. We're going to bend the knee forwards and then pull the leg back behind you, extending your hip. So the ball is there to challenge your stability rather than to aid mobility. Bend and straighten. Good. Abdominals drawing in. That's enough. That is enough. Shush. I don't know what's got into her. Can you keep up? Oh, thought you were Max. Sorry, ladies. She's so loud now. Her bark has broken and it's so loud. Good. Forwards and back. 3 more. 2. You're going to hold the leg back on the next one. Hold it back there. Abdominals pulled in. Ribs still connected. Small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back round. Really pulling the leg out and away from the hip. Lovely. Drawing the head from the shoulders and lower the leg all the way back down. Lovely. Good work. Let's lift ourselves off the ball, taking the ball down, or taking the head down, I should say, all the way down to the shoulder. Lovely. And squeeze the ball between your ankles. Lengthen the ankle, lengthen the legs, I should say, out and away from the hips. Lovely. And you're just going to go up and down with the legs, squeezing the ball. We're trying, because we've done work for the waist already. Yeah, we can still carry on thinking about working the waist, but I also want you to think about the work going into your inner thigh on the underneath leg. That's really the aim of what we're doing here. It's you're pushing the top leg up by using the muscles of the inner thigh on the underneath leg. Yes, your waist will be firing as well, which is always a bonus. But our focus is on the inner thigh work. Good. Lovely. And if it's more comfortable for you to put your head back into your hand, that's fine. Or keep it down on your shoulder. But let's focus on here. Good. Lovely. 3 to go. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Take the legs down. And we're just going to turn directly onto our front. We're going to keep that ball between the knees. Roll onto your front, not the knees, the ankles. Roll onto your front, keep the ball between the ankles, and thread the hands into the small of the back. So we're going to do our double leg kick, holding the ball in the ankles. Now, lengthen your legs. So you feel the ball pushing down into the floor, but your feet are almost off the floor. Yeah, and you're squeezing and connecting into that ball. We're going to beat the heels into the bottom, or beat the ball, I guess, into the bottom for 2 counts. So the knees bend. 1, 2. Reach the legs away, lift your chest and draw your hands down towards your bottom. We fold back in, kick in the ball. 1, 2. And lifting up. Good. It's a little pulse inwards, not an almighty booting of the heels to the bottom. It's the thing, we're thinking of pressing the ball in towards the glutes. Yeah, nice. And really finding the connection of the ankles against the ball as you send the legs out and away from the hips. Lovely. As the elbows bend, I want to see your shoulders roll forward, so the elbows will drop towards the mat, allowing your shoulders to come forward, so to protract, and then the shoulders will retract as you come up. 2 more. Pulse, pulse. Good. Extend it away. 1 last one, girls. Pulse, pulse. And extend out and away. Lovely. Turn over onto your other side. We're going to do our side line flow in reverse, because you know how I like a flow, and we've got the ball between the ankles. Okay. Of course, it's slightly broken, the flow, that you've all gone up the other end of your mat rather than rolled onto the other side, but it's fine. This is what we have to cope with Zoom, because we always have to see the screen. Take your either head down onto your shoulder or head in your hand, whatever works for you. All right, but we're working the inner thigh on the underneath leg. So pull the top leg over the top of the ball, and then we're squeezing up and down. Push the ball upwards with the underneath leg, and make sure that there's no bend to the knee. Sometimes I'll see this business happening. Can you see? That's just going to twist into your knee. I want that leg completely straight, quads firing. And then squeeze up and down. Lovely. Now, if you're feeling any lifting coming from your lower back, particularly this kind of QL area, then we need to bring the legs slightly further forwards and tuck the tail under. Engage the glutes a little more and continue with your lift and lower. All right, that's if you're starting to feel it here. Good. Squeeze and lift. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Taking the legs down, we're going to grab that ball and it goes underneath our ribs. Excellent. Take your head in your hands. Elbows drawn in. Underneath leg stays bent, or you can bring the underneath leg out the front corner of your mat. It's a bit more challenging here. We're just going to bend the knee forwards and draw the leg back, staying stable on our ball. Lovely. Finding that hip extension as the heel squeezes behind us. Claire, how many animals have you got in that room with you? 3! A dog and 2 cats. Impressive. That was a good down dog he just did there. Love it. And 3 to go, girls, and then we'll leave the leg behind us for some circles. 1 last one. Hold that leg back, opening the hip, pulling the abs in. We go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back round, shoulders down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well done. Take the leg down. We're going to bring the underneath arm down and rest the head down onto the arm. The top arm runs along the side of the leg as we extend that leg out and away. Okay, now using the ball to work our body around. So we lift the head first. Press the hand down. Start to push the ribs against the ball as you hinge upwards. And we're going to squeeze the leg up. Find a shortening in the waist. And then slowly slide back down, head to shoulder. Lengthen and lift. Slowly return. That's adorable, Claire. I don't know if the other girls can see Claire. Oh, she's just got this giant retriever sat in front of her. Good. Now just checking your necks, girls. Now, Karina can't see your neck. I can just see your leg come up occasionally. So you'll have to just promise me you are lengthening through the neck and lifting rather than yanking up. Yes, that's it. Lovely. 2 more. Drawing the head from the shoulders and lift. Good, one last one. And slowly return all the way back down. Well done, girls. Okay, let's lift off that ball. We can put it behind our head as we just lie down and give those glutes a little stretch out. So come onto your back, ankle over the knee. Let's just go into our glute stretch. Lying on our back. If you have another glute stretch you prefer, like maybe your pigeon stretch, then please do that one. Whatever works best for your body. Just rock your hips across to the side and then back. So you twist the hips over in the direction your toes are pointing in. Sideways across and then back. See if you can get a little bit deeper in those glutes. Good. And then switch it over to the other side. Good. And then let's just take the hands between the knees and press outwards and just find an inner thigh stretch there. So just push the knees apart. Lovely. Not sure if Claire's just really enjoying that glute stretch or whether she's frozen on screen. I think she's frozen. Okay. Taking the ball between your ankles. Yeah, she's definitely frozen. I've lost you, Claire. Ball between your ankles. Oh, she's back. She's back. We're going to lift the legs up with the ball between the ankles. Let's do some work on our abs. Hands behind the back of the head. So your knees are ball distance apart. Your ankles are connecting into the ball here rather than your knees. So we don't want to drag the knees together. But your inner thighs are working super hard. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl up your head and shoulders. We're going to point the toes up to the ceiling. Then we bend the knees and we're going to send the legs out and away from the hips. We bend the knees, we point the toes up. Bend, we reach the legs away. Good. Spine stays nice and quiet as your legs are working, hinged movements in the knees and hips. Bend, lift, bend, reach away. Really targeting those lower abs to support the spine as the legs pull out and away. You'll feel they're much heavier as they pull out at that 45-degree angle from the floor. Quads working super hard as you point the toes to the ceiling. Stay in your curl up, girls, really connecting the ribs in towards the hips. Lovely, gorgeous. Last 2. Last one, to the ceiling. Reaching away. Really nice. Lower your head down. Take the ball, place your feet to the floor and pop your ball between your knees. Head flat down. Legs connecting into the ball. Arms reaching up just above the chest and just slide those shoulders backwards into the mat. Breathe in here as you breathe out. Tip the tail under, imprint your spine. We're mobilizing through again as we peel upwards with those hips. Keep the ribs connected as you take the arms over the head And then as you're exhaling, I want you to roll the spine down and circle the arms wide around your body until you return the spine to neutral and the arms back in line with the hips. We go again. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tip the tail under. We're going to begin to float the arms up as the spine lifts up. All the way, and then all the way over the head. Shoulders in the back. And we roll down as the arms circle round. Just enjoy that release through the spine. Openness across the front of the chest. And we're back to neutral. So we roll up and take the arms over at the same time, feeding the ribs to the hips, driving the knees forwards, and just allowing space there for the pelvis to elevate. Good, just really enjoy that circling round, holding the ball gently between the knees. Good, lovely. And over. Circling round, really nice. Lovely. Okay, on this next one, we're going to bridge up, but keep the arms above the chest, not taking them all the way over the head. And hold a really strong bridge position there. Lovely, abs pulled in, glutes switched on. Now we're going to squeeze a little bit more into the right glute, keeping or pressing the right heel deeper into the mat and allowing the left leg to float up. You're holding the ball still in place. Your pelvis remains in neutral. Place the foot down. Now, if you need to bring the arms down to your side for this, then do, because it's a real challenge on your stability. Reach through the right this time. Place the foot down. So we go alternating from side to side. The ball might try to creep away from between your knees. That's what it's doing with mine a little bit. Check in with your body and feel how it wants to shift its position on the mat when you take one of your points of contact away from the mat. And how do we work against that shift? Which muscles do we need to engage to prevent that from happening? Yeah, a bit more glute maybe on the standing leg, a bit more core. Good, one more either side. No, the ball wants to escape, doesn't it? Good work. And let's go back over again with the arms. Breathing in and breathe out. Let's return the spine all the way down again, bone by bone. Lovely, circling the arms around. Good work. All right, let's bring the ball into the back of the left leg. We're just returning back to abs. Hands back behind the head. So lift the right leg up as well, but the right leg is free. So we're going to curl up and twist towards the leg that's holding the ball. So armpit draws diagonally across to that left hip. You're reaching the right leg out and away from you. As you come back, you're going to point the right leg up to the ceiling and toe tap the left foot down to the mat. Bend the left knee in, lower the right heel towards the floor as you twist over towards the leg holding the ball. And then as we return to center, we point the right foot up to the ceiling and toe tap the left foot down. So we're only rotating in one direction, and then we bring ourselves back into that neutral each time. And each time you're rotating, you're pulling the left knee towards you, holding the ball into the back of that leg. Yeah, I want the right leg to stay straight if you can, ladies. So it just lowers and lifts all the way down, heel to the floor, and then toes to the ceiling. Good, nice. 2 more on this side. Lovely work. Taking your foot down, your head down, switching straight over to the other leg. Let's go back again, hands behind the head, reaching the leg away and twisting up and over to the right leg. Toe tap down, lift the left leg up and across. Toes to the ceiling and twist across. Up and over. Let's work those obliques again. Try not to throw that leg upwards, yeah? The long leg, I think it's the left one, isn't it? Twist towards the bent one. Good, one more either side. It's not really either side, is it? It's only one side, but never mind. Take your feet down. Take a break out of those hips. Grab that ball if you want. Go into a lovely big Full body stretch, arms up and over. All right. We're returning our thoughts now to hip mobility. So in order to really mobilize the hips when we're lying on our back, we need a little bit of elevation for our pelvis. So ball behind the back of your hips, so that when we lift the legs, they are a little lighter. Good. And we're going to point the toes to the ceiling again, and it's going to feel a lot easier than when you had your pelvis flat on the mat. But it's not as stable. So let's bring the arms out nice and wide and press back to the arms into the mat. So we're going to go into those scissors first, lowering one leg down, drawing the other leg in towards you. Let's do little pulses, 1, 2. Switch to the other side, 1, 2. So as we mobilize the hips, we stabilize the pelvis on the ball. So we're mobilizing inside those hip joints. Pulse, pulse. Should be feeling those abs switching on to help stabilize. Good. Lovely. And now let's work into our frog legs. So we're going to bring those heels together and the knees nice and wide. Press the heels and then push away, drawing the inner thighs together. Keep those heels pressing as the knees go open. Exhale, reach away. I want the legs to go relatively low, so you feel your abdominals firing again as your legs extend away. Nice and wide across the upper back, back to the arms, connected into the floor, into the mat behind you. Lovely. Let's go 2 more. Zip it up as the legs extend away. Lovely, bring the legs back up, toes pointing to the ceiling, and now we're going into those helicopter legs. Hopefully you've got some space. One leg lowers, the other leg stays lifted, and then circle the legs all the way around, draw them back up to the ceiling, split back in the other direction, circling around, and then lifting back up. Good. Controlling that movement. I'm a little bit pinchy in my hip flexor at the moment, so I'm going to give that one a little miss. Good. Nice. One more in either direction. Lovely, ladies. Sun's out. That's exciting. Haven't seen that for a while. Lovely. And then fold the knees into the chest. Give them a big hug as your tail tips under. And we're going to pick the ball up. Lift ourselves up. Put the ball behind the shoulder blades. Creep your feet a little away from your bottom so you're not all sort of squashed into yourself. Lovely. Ribs heavy on the ball. Let's breathe in, extend back. Enjoy that extension. Head pressed into the hands, elbows wide. Breathe out, the curling up. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, curl up. So knuckles come to graze the mat, depending on the size of your ball, I guess. That's the idea, is the knuckles just tap the mat. The head is supported in the hands. It's really about the going back, the extension, rather than the curl up, because we've done work on our curl ups, we've done some ab work. And this is about finding the extension, the release across the front of the chest. Good. Make sure that ball's not too low down. It's got to be on the shoulder blades, not down towards your lower back. 2 more. Lovely. And let's finish with the ball all the way behind the back of the head. You can have your legs bent or straight, whatever works for your body today. But try and relax fully. Body into the mat, head into the ball. Allow your facial expressions to completely release, no tension through the brow or the jaw. Just melt everything back. And then turning the head from side to side, maintaining that release through the body, through the face, neck and shoulders, as you mobilize through those joints of the neck, side to side. Lovely. Really nice. Bringing the head to center, drawing the chin towards the chest, and then just pressing the weight of the head back into the ball. Not too much extension there in the neck. I just want you to point the nose to the ceiling. Try not to think of taking the nose all the way back to the wall behind you. Good. Nose to ceiling. Good. One more. Excellent. And you're all done. Well done, ladies. Good work.
Thank you, Zoe.
Pleasure.